Hi guys, Mrs. Craig here. I missed you guys a lot. Sorry about not hearing from my video blog last week, but today I'm going to teach you guys how to sew a button on the correct way. So here we go. The first thing you need to do is make sure you thread your needle, which is really hard to do. I always say that. I usually you try to do your best. The first thing you need to do is make sure you thread your needle, which is really hard to do. I always say that. I usually you try to do your best. Can you just pause it? And then... All right. Once you get it through the needle, that's the first most important part, and it takes a lot of patience. But I always give myself plenty of extra. And then you're going to double it over. So see, you got both sides of string. And then cut it off. And you're going to tie the end. Zoom in on the little knot, and then zoom back out. So... you can see there, it doesn't look like it's been knotted a lot, but it needs to be thick enough that it doesn't go through your material. I just have an old t-shirt here. So this is clearly the outside. This is clearly the inside, sorry. This is clearly the outside. So you want to make sure you first go through the top of the material into the inside. So I'm just going to go straight down through like that. And there's going to be a little knot just sticking up there. So what you want to do is come back up through and create a little X, just to give yourself a little space to have a little platform for your thread to go in. So I'm going to go in. So if you see closely, it's hard to tell, but there's a little X there. So then I'm just going to come up right beside the other side. And then give me another little X. All right. So now that I've formed a base for my button, I'm going to come back up through and I'm going to put my button on it. Just pick one side. We're going to do a crossover button. You can do it however you want, but you just came right through. You want to go on the one across so you'll have the X formation. So put it here, and then the one across from you, go back down into, oh, gotta hold it there a little bit tighter. Go back down into your, be careful not to get your finger down into your thing. The thing here is though, you want to make sure that you give your button enough space. If you do it too tight, it won't work. So you're just going to put a little pin through just to make sure you have enough space in your button so it can be moving around when you need to. Then again, pin it back up when you're actually making it. When you come back up through, you'll go through, oh, I missed the hole there. You'll go through the next hole. One of the two you haven't gone through yet. Take the needle out and go back down through the other way. So you make your little X. And again, you want to put your needle in to make sure it has extra space. What you don't want to do is go through your own loop with your needle. And then, like I said, just put that needle in there just to give it some space. Because when you're messing with your button and everything, it'll break if you don't give it space. So now that I actually have it tied there, I have to give it some firm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up through my outside. So you see I'm on my inside, so now I need to get back up to my outside. So I'm going to come back up through there, close to the original platform I made, and I'm going to stick my needle out the side, pull it tight. I can remove this guy now. And what you're going to do is just circle around the base with some of your leftover thread, just once or twice. And then you're going to go back through, it's really hard to tell, but you go back through the loops of your needle and thread. Make sure it's all out of your way untangled. And then make sure you go through the material as well after you go through your needle thread. And then all you have to do is tie it on the back. So what I do when I tie, which might be right or wrong, I'm not quite sure, but you're going to, I always go through my thread and then you'll have a big loop here, and I always just go through that loop too. This is the only time I go through the loop, and it gives it a little tie knot. I usually do it once or twice just to make sure it's really tied on there good. And maybe one more time through my loops. Like I said, you can't hurt. You can't see the inside of it anyway, so you might as well go ahead and tie it up as many times as you want. All right, pull that through. Cut off the extra without cutting off the thing, and you've got yourself a nice little button there. But still moving enough movement, like I said, because you have to put the needle through. So if I need to hook it around it, I'm good to go. Thanks, guys.